Now, last year I did a top 5 tech predictions that was going to happen in 2016, and I think I did pretty well in terms of the prediction aspect. So I want to do my top 5 tech predictions of 2017, and yes, I know I'm late because I wanted to get this out before CES. Couldn't make that happen, but personally I think CES is more so along the line of trying to showcase technology that's going to be coming out next year. They're just getting like a year jump ahead to try to get the consumer market take on what these things are and if they're interested, but that's another story for like a Twitter rant or something. I don't know. So jumping right on into it for my number 5, I think higher resolution displays on devices is what's going to be one of the biggest things when it comes to 2017. I mean, think about it. We're in a world right now where 4K is trying to be pushed to the norm. A lot of people have still yet to jump past 1080p, but that may change halfway into 2017 to people jumping to 2K and 4K monitors. That being said, with 2K displays being on your most flagship phones, soon you'll probably have a phone pushing 4K or some type of upscaling to 4K, I'm not sure. Also, because technology moves so fast, again, we've had 8K displays being showcased way before people even started buying 4K monitors. So I'm pretty sure by the end of this year, we'll probably have a 16K, if not 32K monitor. Craziness aside, probably not 32K, that's like no, but we will see higher resolution displays as well as display technology make more leaps in 2017. I count on it. You're going to want people for the wristwatch, smartwatch, and smart wearables. You got people who are going to want technology of like just monitors on walls and wrapping around walls, and you're going to want all that to be crisp and nice and on point. My number 4 tech prediction for 2017 is more of a hopeful one. I really hope this one can pull through. I hope somehow make it happen. If you have to discover a new element from the cosmos that's being like hidden in Neil deGrasse Tyson's basement, I don't care, do what you have to do, but I want my battery technology advancement. Everyone could benefit from better batteries. The issue is everyone wants thinner devices, so all these manufacturers are putting their technology and their design aspects and their push and money into making things slimmer. And because battery technology has not been keeping up with the anorexia of smartphones, they've put things more in terms of like charging aspects. So we have like quick charge and fast charge and lightning charge. And while those things are pretty cool, you know, the idea of phones getting smaller was a reaction or caused a reaction to create quick charging technology. That's fantastic. But I don't want quick charging technology if I have to quickly charge it 3 times a day. I want a battery that could last me more than a day. My ideal battery would be one that could go 2 to 3 days without having to be charged. Full on use. I mean, that's like, you know, watching videos 1080p and like just for hours, Netflix, gaming. Well, probably not full on skill gaming, but you know, the basic casual games like Merchant or Godsville, and just not having to charge for 2 or more days. That's my idea. That's what I want. And I think we can do that if we put more time and investment into better batteries and advancing the battery technology rather than trying to make our phones super thin to the point where they're like paper. That'd be cool to have a phone as thin as paper, but I don't want a phone as thin as paper. Do you? Maybe you do. I don't know. Anyway, here's hoping to an increasing battery lifespan for 2017 for battery technology advancement. Make it happen. Number 3 is like a far cry. Like everyone, technically it could be on the list every year, but the main point for number 3 is that of cybersecurity. Cybersecurity on everything. So again, I brag about this all the time, that me and Lewis talked about how IoT devices, that's the Internet of Things, should have personal firewalls to protect, you know, the devices themselves as well as the network that they're attached to, because we both saw that they were just super unsecure from the beginning. And in 2016, the massive attack on the internet was through utilizing the insecurities of the IoT devices across the world. And lo and behold, I guarantee you in 2017 we're going to see startup companies saying that they can offer you virus protection, firewall, network security, and all these other things, LifeLock security, make sure your social security number isn't stolen, all for your IoT devices. So, and it's gonna be like when McAfee and all these other like antivirus software just kind of like just blew up because it was a whole new playing field. Guarantee you, or at least that's what I think will happen in 2017 for devices, especially when on the increase in verge of wearable smart tech and smart houses. No one wants to have a smart house if you can hack the door and just press the well, won't even say a button. You can press a screen and all 5 deadbolts on your door just unlock. Kind of defeats the purpose if your stuff is insecure. So I guarantee you we're going to see more cell phones that has built-in cybersecurity, more smart devices like your smartwatches with built-in cybersecurity, smart homes with built-in smart security, and all these other things with smart cybersecurity and etc. I guarantee it, 2017, the year of cybersecurity. And guess what? People are still going to have password as a password, and people are still going to have, you know, hacks to their PayPal, their social media, and etc. And we're probably going to keep having like the fappenings where people have insecure cloud platforms with all their photos on it that's going to be leaked out because someone hacked their account because of the insecurities of their cybersecurity. It's just kind of how it goes. That's life, folks. Number 2 is probably one of the, it's going to be big in 2017 in my opinion, but it's still going to be kind of looked down upon. This is more of the year to gain momentum for it, and I think that's going to be for AR and VR. That's augmented reality as well as virtual reality. So last year as well as in 2015 and a little bit prior to that, VR and AR, you know, they were new to the scene, this whole new market that everyone wanted to jump aboard, but everyone knew the technology was not there to keep pushing it to where it needed to be. So when you had things like the Vive coming out via HTC and Steam, people was buying it because it was like the hot button, top of the line model, but it was still new technology of a new, you know, frontier. And it was still pretty cool, but it was still pretty much lacking. However, now that we have a better grasp on AR and VR, we're going to see the return of Google Glass, or they might rename it, of course. We're going to see more with the HoloLens from Microsoft. We're going to see Oculus Rift that they can get out of their lawsuit things with ZeniMax and Facebook and etc. We're going to see them pushing for more. We're going to see more developers in VR and augmented reality because it's a new platform now. When a new frontier, a new era, or a new platform occurs, the marketing consensus of developers, consumers, and creators will jump to this, populate it. And that takes time. And that time was that of 2015 and 2016. So for 2017, we're going to see a lot more payout for augmented reality and virtual reality. I guarantee it. And number 1 is probably my most, you know, far out there. And I think my number 1s are always going to be the most far out there because last video like this we did, it was the new CPU technology and architecture, which kind of happened, not the way I wanted to. We are getting a new architecture for Ryzen. I kind of call that right, though they kind of had to push it back, so it's happening in 2017, not really in 2016, but it was supposed to. And that was before anyone knew about Ryzen or Project Zen or etc. Go back and look at it. I guarantee, look at it. Would you just look at it? But for my number 1, I would say flexible devices. Yeah, flexible screens, flexible LCD screens, flexible phones, tablets, cameras. It's gonna happen. So if you've been keeping up with technology in the last 2 years, we've had people like, I think Samsung and other companies actually have bendable like LCD paper for ebooks and etc., but they haven't been able to fit that into a full-on project of technology. And I think we're gonna get that in 2017. We've seen bendable screens. I think they actually made an appearance somewhere at CES. But again, it was just the screen. The issue with just having a screen that's bendable is you still gotta have the board or the device or the chip somewhere that's not going to be bendable that drives that screen. So in all honesty, what we're probably going to get is a stiff, rigid bezel on one section, probably at the bottom. So if you're doing like a portrait like of a phone, the bottom chin is probably going to be rigid, and then you're going to have a material that kind of comes out that's encased underneath that rigid chin, and it's going to be either type of plastic, silicone, or silicone, whichever way you pronounce it, that basically contains the bendable display and the bendable circuitry and etc. And that's just what's going to have like the cool on edgy thing. And I guarantee you, one of the coolest things you could probably do is like Project Nokia Morph. And I'm not saying you're full on because that's still far ways out. Though Nokia, if you can make that happen, please make it happen. The Nokia Morph concept is absolutely fantastic. But you're probably gonna have a phone that is then gonna have like these magnets at the bottom chin and the top chin. You're gonna be able to fold the screen around and it's gonna like lock into a bracelet. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. That's one of the the tech things that everyone wants to see. My cell phone becomes a bracelet. And while I just kind of mock people for wanting to see that, I'm actually one of the biggest people who wants to see that. But also because of displays, you're gonna have, we already have curved displays. Imagine if you have displays that can be from flat, turn to curve, which already do exist, but even at a more extreme rate. Imagine if you had like a massive 60, 70-inch television and you can have it on the wall. And then you can like do a curve for like these nice small little effects. But then you can get in like closer with the chair with family members and do a harder, nice bend to it for like this nice, weird, augmented wraparounds. I think it'd be cool. As well as having displays on the wall and wrapping around the wall, or maybe like awesome beds where you have like the Kingsman bed, with the pillars on the side, and having, it's basically an LCD strip all around the top, and you can wake up and you can see like news headlines scrolling around your bed. It'd be awesome. That's just my idea though. The main concern that I do have for the future of bendable displays and flexible devices is that of quote-unquote premium feel. A lot of people, consumers, reviewers, tech tubers, and etc. have this really big deal, myself kind of included, about the feeling of premium. The fact that I have to have a phone made of metal instead of plastic because plastic no longer feels nice on my succulent hands. I like the feel of metal, that's cool, but I'm also not going to turn down a plastic device that is more utilized and efficient than a metal device that just happens to feel nice. That's kind of my thing, but the average consumer isn't like that. They got to have a phone that, is nice to look at, pretty to show off, nice in the feel, and they're going to put a case on it and not talk about that device's, look, sleekness, feel almost ever again. That's my main concern with that whole aspect of the flexible devices and bendable displays. But I hope to see it happen in 2017. I think it really will happen in 2017, probably on the around the end of 2017, if not, at like next year's CES for something else. But again, that's what I'm putting out there. More flexible devices for my number one. If you have not checked out my 2016 top 5 tech predictions for that year, I highly recommend you go back and check it out to see what I got right and what I got wrong, and just have a better idea of where my mind works when it comes to technology for the years. But aside from that, that's pretty much the video, guys. Feel free to like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, let us know why if you disliked it, and you can let us know why you liked it. Subscribe for more, share with your friends, leave a comment in the comment section below. Feel free to check out our description box things for all of our links and how to support us and etc. But I'll see you all in the next video. But until then, as always, I'll be Zenokami. Take care.